Hi, thanks for joining me for another video, and today we're going to do another one in an ongoing series of cheap obscure guitars that don't suck, question mark. I don't think this is that obscure, I've never heard of them, but this is a CB Sky. Now, looking them up quickly, they're a Hong Kong based company, so everything's made in Xinjiang? Probably said that wrong, province in China. These seem to be sold as kits. I think they're all over Amazon and eBay and stuff. About £100-ish, sorry, £100 British. Gets you a guitar, an amp, and all the bits and pieces that go with that. Now this came into my friend's shop. It's only got 5 strings on it. Strange tuning that. So first thing I've got to do is put some new strings on it and maybe give it a little setup, because the action, it's about 4 foot string to fretboard. Yeah, we'll look into that. I'll see what I can do with it anyway. What I do know about them, from what I briefly found, was it's supposed to be a basswood or basswood body, one piece maple neck, no scarf joint at all, so yeah, one piece, and rosewood fretboard. So, you know, what do you expect for less than, well, I've seen some for under £100, so yeah, we'll find out. So first thing I'm going to do is probably plug it in, just check it, everything works, put new strings on it. I won't film that, I've done that to death, and then we'll play it. We'll play it clean, see what it sounds like, and then try it with some pedals and maybe have a little jam with it. It's got a bit of a loose tuner on there. These are kind of typical kind of generic cheap tuners. But I know sometimes I'm surprised by these cheap guitars, you know, with a little setting up, they can be quite playable. So without further ado, let's get on with it. Well, that's the action set. It is, I don't know if you can see, it's still a little bit high to be honest, but I've adjusted it down on the bridge here. It's got a typical kind of Strat copy 6-point mount tremolo bridge. The hardware looks pretty good actually, in all fairness. So that's lowered right down there, and I adjusted the truss rod in through here because I had far too much relief in it. It's like curving far too much. I've sorted out that little loose tuner as well. Now it's held tune overnight quite well, to be honest, so we'll see, but I've got a feeling to get this to be really better action, I'd have to shim my neck. Not unusual on guitars, but it's a bit of a shame if it's your first guitar and you've got to go to all that effort to get a decent action on it. But I know, we'll see how we get on. Yeah, let's now look at the pickups and see if we get some pickup readings just out of interest, and then we'll actually get on with it and start playing it. Okay, pickup readings. Neck pickup, we've got 3.96k. Middle pickup 4k. And bridge pickup 3.91k, so a little bit of variation, but not much. And just for fun, we'll look at those. That's the middle and the bridge together, 1.99k. Middle and neck, we've got 2k. Now something else I just want to try out, change range, just check the volume pot, because sometimes they're rubbish, but this one seems, yeah, reasonably smooth. I'd say that's pretty good. It's got a good feel to it as well, so for a cheap guitar I can't so far really fault the hardware. Okay, let's get it plugged in. before we get too critical, we have to remember this brand new is around 100 quid with a little amp. Whether the amp's any good, I don't know. I've not tried one. I've not seen one. Yes, there is a few little issues. Remember, this is also second hand. It's not new. It's not brand new. The action, I don't know if other guitars are the same, or when they vary. You might get one out of the factory that's spot on. Another one might be quite so good. The intonation wasn't too bad. I think there was a high fret. I could kind of sense it when you're playing some of the lead bits. You can hear just the tiniest little buzz coming in, and that's with the action still quite high. So I think that would need to be rectified. But I think with a little playing around, you can make these quite playable. The neck's quite nice. It's kind of typical Strat kind of feel to it. It's good quality, really. No sharp edges. I felt worse on far more expensive guitars. The tuners, they do work. I mean, what can you say? It's a cheap guitar, but it's all right. The pickups are okay. I've heard worse. I've heard better. But yeah, you can't grumble, can you, at that kind of money? And I think if you're buying this for your first guitar, first bit of kit, like I say, I don't know what the amp's like, it'd be worth paying a bit and getting it set up. And you think, how much is a setup? I don't know what luthiers charge near you. I think in the UK, some places would charge you about £30, something like that, maybe more, depending on where you go. And you think that's a third of the price of the guitar, but it's probably worth it. You'll get far more out of it if it's looked at and made playable. Now, these strings had the Dario 9s. I think it would probably prefer 10s. I like 9s, but some guitars just prefer 10s. Don't ask me why. It's just a feel you get when you're playing them. But yeah, I mean, you can't grumble, can you? Anyway, more stuff coming up. I've got a really interesting little Marshall amp to look at in the next video. It's sat over there. And it's an MG30R. So apparently it's very quirky and has some issues. So I'm looking forward to doing that vid, because some of the more knowledgeable people out there might say how to fix that, because I think there's some software glitches in it. Anyway, I'm waffling. Yeah, and I bought another guitar, another Ibanez, so please stay tuned for that. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, and we'll catch up again soon. Bye now.